These three school bullies are really bad. Actually bullying a little boy with a limp, the bullies, holding stones, directly threw them at the face of the little boy. The little boy fell to the ground immediately. The bullies went to pick up more stones, while a girl urged the little boy to run quickly.
Run, Forrest, run!
The little boy took twisted steps, running towards the distance. The bullies refused to let the boy go, cycling directly to chase him. The little boy hastened his pace. In fact, the boy wasn't really a cripple, but due to a hunchback, his mother made him wear a 10-pound corrective brace. He had to practice walking 8 miles every day, and also hang upside down on a tree hook for an hour. The bullies quickly caught up, and the little boy was anxious, but with the corrective brace, his knees couldn't bend. How could he run fast? Just when he was about to be caught, the little boy unleashed a surge of primal strength. The kid ran too fast. The corrective brace, made of pure steel, on his legs was shattered by his strength. As he ran, parts clattered and fell off. Within 10 steps, the corrective brace turned into debris. The little boy is like an untamed wild horse. Activated a speed mode. He ran out like a streak of smoke, leaving the three school bullies in the dust. They couldn't catch up at all. From then on, the little boy ran everywhere. But he did go through shoes quite quickly. Running wears them out fast. 5 pairs a month aren't enough. The little boy was very innocent, with an IQ of only 75. As he grew up, the bullies still didn't let him off. I've never seen a limp person run so fast. The school bullies chased in their car. The little boy ran ahead, with the car about to catch his heels. This time, the little boy unleashed the power of the universe. He made a sharp turn and ran towards the stadium. A big leap, clearing the fence. He ran straight into the sports arena. There was an American football game going on. As one side kicked off, the moment the ball was thrown, the little boy ran towards its direction. The speed was astonishing. Even the coaches were dumbfounded. He matched the speed of the flying ball. The ball was caught. And so was the little boy. Oh my God. He effortlessly surpassed the star player of the opposing team. The coaching staff stood up. Who on earth is this? And just like that, the little boy was recruited by the university, directly joining the school's team. The little boy's name is Forrest Gump. Have you ever seen someone run so fast? The college football league kicked off. Teammates handed the ball to Forrest Gump, commanding him to run fast. And there goes Forrest Gump, accelerating through the field, as if in a realm of his own. Defensive players charged at him, but couldn't match his speed. 2 opponents attempted to intercept. Forrest Gump swiftly changed direction, and the two collided head-on, near the sideline. Another rapid turn. Defenders lunged in vain. The audience erupted, wondering who this incredible runner was. Forrest Gump kept accelerating. Finally, the last defender tripped and tumbled in the mud. Forrest Gump crossed the finish line, but his momentum carried him further, directly crashing into the cheerleading squad. Reaching the backfield, the game was successfully won. The coach and the audience were thrilled. He's probably the fastest fool ever. Forrest Gump's outstanding performance earned him a spot in the All-American team. The next match was even more impressive. The entire opposing team chased Forrest Gump, but they couldn't catch him. Forrest Gump reached the finish line. The cheerleading squad was terrified, shouting, "Enough, enough, don't crash into us." The opposing players, exhausted and some vomiting. Forrest Gump achieved victory after victory, and was directly received by President Kennedy of the United States. The man who ran like the wind was actually received by the president. Forrest Gump, not caring about any president. At the banquet, he saw his favorite soda, and drank 15 bottles in a row. The president, at an inappropriate time, came over to interview him. "Young man, how do you feel?" Forrest Gump, covering his crotch, replied, "I need to pee." Even the president couldn't handle him. Before turning 20, Forrest Gump had the unique experience of being the president's toilet, but not long after, President Kennedy was assassinated. In the midst of such chaos, Forrest Gump decided to enlist and serve his country. This new recruit is really something. Breaking records on the first day, the instructor asked him, "Why did you come to the army?" He replied, "To do what you tell me to do." It was the best answer the instructor had ever heard. Forrest Gump was well suited for military life. His speed in assembling the 98K sniper rifle shocked the entire unit, setting a new record for the squad. Forrest Gump always managed to focus on what he enjoyed doing. However, a major disaster was about to strike. Let's briefly introduce Forrest Gump. With an IQ of only 75, the school principal thought having him would affect the school's graduation rate, so he wasn't allowed to attend. Forrest Gump's mother had no choice. She slept with the principal to secure Forrest Gump's chance to go to school. Forrest Gump wore a corrective brace from a young age. and his first encounter with a major celebrity was Elvis Presley. Forrest Gump invented the crab dance, perfectly replicated by Elvis, catapulting him to fame as a heavyweight star in the United States. Since childhood, Forrest Gump had a childhood sweetheart named Jenny. Every time he was bullied, it was Jenny who told him to run fast. But Jenny's father was abusive, and Jenny ended up on a troubled path, a girl playing the piano in a bar without clothes. Harassed by some thugs, Forrest Gump happened to see her. The girl was his childhood friend. He rushed to the rescue. Forrest Gump fought off the thugs and lifted the naked Jenny in his arms. But Jenny wasn't pleased. She got fired by the boss. Jenny blamed Forrest Gump, but Forrest Gump told her he was going to Vietnam to fight. Jenny was reluctant. She advised Forrest Gump, "Don't be brave. Just run. Run far away." That night, Jenny tried to initiate intimacy with Forrest Gump, but Forrest Gump was shy, and they did not engage in any relations. Forrest Gump arrived in Vietnam, where it rained incessantly. Suddenly, the enemy launched an attack. Shells were flying, and everyone was forced to the ground. Forrest Gump, on the ground, made a 360-degree roll. Once he gathered his senses, he crawled towards a lower area. The unit was helpless against the relentless assault. Lieutenant Dan quickly picked up the phone to call for reinforcements. Forrest Gump fired a few shots but had to lie down. His teammates, who had just fought back, disappeared in an instant as they were blasted. Lieutenant Dan ordered everyone to retreat. Forrest Gump heard his comrade Bubba saying, "Hurry, run, brother." This reminded him of Jenny's words. Forrest Gump runs forward like he did when he was a child, running until he realizes he's the only one left. "This won't do. Bubba is my good friend. I have to make sure he's okay." Every time Forrest Gump runs back to rescue Bubba, he hears teammates yelling for help. So, he tirelessly carries his teammates to a safe place. 1, 2, 3. Along the way, he encounters Lieutenant Dan and rescues him too. Unbeknownst to him, he ends up saving more than 10 people. Finally, he finds Bubba, but Bubba is severely injured, leaving only one sentence: "I want to go home." And then he passes away on the battlefield. Forrest Gump saved over 10 comrades, but with an injured buttock, he could only lie down. Lieutenant Dan, who had both legs amputated, questioned Forrest Gump about why he saved him. He believed he should have died on the battlefield. Due to his outstanding performance in combat, Forrest Gump was awarded the prestigious Medal of Honor by the president. He was scheduled to give a speech, but unexpectedly saw Jenny in the crowd. He immediately jumped off the stage and ran towards her. The two embraced passionately in the pool, and cheers erupted from the surroundings. Upon his teammates' recommendation, Forrest Gump took up table tennis. His teammates instructed him to focus on the ball. As a result, Forrest Gump not only played the game alone, but also managed to hit the ball with both hands. Even facing a wall, he could continuously hit the ball 200 times in 1 minute. His exceptional table tennis skills gained national recognition, leading him to join the All-American table tennis team, representing the United States on its first visit to China. After returning to the U.S., Forrest Gump was received by President Nixon. One evening, Forrest Gump saw what seemed to be a thief in the building across the street. A single report to the authorities unraveled the famous Watergate scandal, leading to the resignation of the president. Forrest Gump indeed proved to be a formidable individual. Upon his return to the U.S., he encountered Lieutenant Dan. Lieutenant Dan called 2 beautiful women, expecting a pleasant evening. However, Forrest Gump was put off by the smell of smoke on the girls, and they mocked him as a fool. Lieutenant Dan disagreed and promptly sent the girls away. After retiring, Forrest Gump decided to fulfill the dream of his deceased comrade Bubba. By going into the shrimp business, he spent all his money to buy a boat, naming it the Jenny. He kept having setbacks at the beginning. Later, Lieutenant Dan joined him, and during a massive hurricane that destroyed other boats, Forrest Gump managed to catch thousands of tons of shrimp, becoming an instant millionaire. He then expanded his business by purchasing 12 more fishing boats, establishing a successful shrimp company. Lieutenant Dan finally let go of his resentment and thanked Forrest Gump for saving his life. Life is full of challenges, and Forrest Gump's mother was diagnosed with cancer. Forrest Gump rushed home to be with his ailing mother. As she approached the end, she shared with Forrest Gump that death is just a part of life.
Life is a box of chocolates, Forrest. You never know what you're gonna get.
After his mother's passing, Forrest Gump remained in the local area, working as a grass cutter, while Lieutenant Dan continued to manage the company. This guise is truly remarkable. He casually invested in a company, which turned out to be almost the current Apple Incorporated. Forrest Gump remembered his mother's words: "We don't need too much wealth, just enough." With the extra money, Forrest Gump built a church, established a hospital, and left a substantial amount for his comrade Bubba's mother. At this time, Jenny also returned. It was the happiest time for Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump proposed to Jenny, but she said, "You wouldn't want to marry me." That night, they finally came together, and Forrest Gump received a consolation prize. However, the next day, Jenny left, leaving behind the medal Forrest Gump had given her. In the empty room, Forrest Gump, alone, lost in thought, decided to run with all his might. Just like in his childhood, forgetting all worries, he ran through Greenbow County, Alabama, crossed Arizona, reached Idaho, continued through Maryland, arrived at the Mississippi River, reached the seaside, and then turned around to continue running. A man runs throughout the year, eating when hungry, sleeping when tired, and running when awake. His aimless running attracts the attention of numerous media outlets. Why do you run? Is it for world peace or women's rights? Reporters inquire. Forrest Gump continues his relentless running, and this dedication inspires many, leading to the formation of a running group with hundreds of participants. A disheartened businessman seeks advice on a catchy slogan, and Forrest Gump casually remarks, "Shit happens," inadvertently inspiring a brilliant catchphrase. Splattered with mud, Forrest Gump wipes himself with a t-shirt, unintentionally creating a classic logo for a trendy brand. After running for 3 years, 2 months, 14 days, and 16 hours, he finally decides to return home. Upon his return, Forrest Gump receives a letter from Jenny, and meets a young boy for a scheduled appointment. Forrest Gump couldn't believe it. He had a son. He was scared and kept stepping back, fearing that his son's intelligence would be like his, with an IQ of only 75. Jenny reassured him, telling Forrest Gump that their child was the smartest in the class. Afterward, Forrest Gump and Jenny finally got married, and they lived a happy life as a family of 3. However, not long after, Jenny fell ill and passed away. Forrest Gump was heartbroken for a long time. He raised their child alone, and when it was time for the child to go to school, it was a reminiscent scene of how Forrest Gump's mother had sent him off to school. As the school bus drove away, Forrest Gump sat on a chair, missing his mother and Jenny. A single feather floated up from under Forrest's foot, soaring higher and higher. Indeed, everyone's life is as light as a feather. Yet Forrest Gump's persistent spirit led to an extraordinary life. The movie ends here. It's titled Forrest Gump. The question for this episode is, were you touched by Forrest Gump's story? If you were, comment 111 in the comments. Some attribute Forrest Gump's success to luck. While luck is important, it's not everything. Forrest Gump's success is more about his effort. A classic quote from the film is mentioned. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. So, even in the face of challenges, don't lose your heart. Good things always happen around the next corner. This movie is a must-watch for life lessons. We recommend watching the original film. That's it for this episode. Remember to like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.